Dr. Parker, I'm going to take off unless you need something else.
I'm sorry, Jamie. Could you hang around for a few more minutes? I have one last client.
But it's after 6. You never work this late.
I know, I wouldn't normally, but this was a special request from a friend. And the client is paying double, and this close to Christmas, that can't hurt. If you could just stay long enough to show him in, that would be great. And hey, Christmas lattes on me tomorrow morning.
Anything for you, Doc. And a Christmas latte.
Baseball players are the boys of summer, college begins in the fall, and retailers and psychotherapists have the holidays. To everything there is a season. But I guess we all have to make our money when we can, and 'tis the season for psychosis. Still, loss, loneliness, and lunacy does keep Mama in a nice apartment, a BMW, and these really great shoes.
Doctor, your next client is here. I'll be in the lobby if you need anything. I've got the paperwork for Dr. Jekyll to finish up.
Oh, all right. Just give me a minute to set up and show him in, please. Great. Winter darkness outside, a practically empty professional building, and a potential nut job. You would think it was Halloween, not Christmas.
Your client, Doctor.
Thank you, Jamie. Hello. Come in and have a seat, please. I'm Dr. Parker.
Well, yes, thank you. Thank you. But you didn't say Merry Christmas.
I'm sorry, what?
Merry Christmas. You didn't say it. This time of year, you should really say Merry Christmas, or at least Happy Holidays.
I'm sorry. Merry Christmas. Won't you have a seat, please?
I think you. Anyway, it's just that lately I realized it's so important to say things like that because it's Christmas time and it's just important to be said.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to offend you. It's just that these days, not everyone celebrates Christmas, so I don't like to presume.
No, I understand that. I do. Anyway, forget about that. Look, you're a doctor, right? A friend of mine, Ralph, he said you were real good and that you helped him out one time.
Yes, Mr. Billingsley called me today and set up your appointment. I'm not really taking new clients right now, but I was told this is an emergency.
Emergency, yeah, it's an emergency, but look, I don't think you can do anything about it. I don't think anybody can. You doctors, you record these things, right? Tapes, digital recorders, videos, something like that, right?
Yes, I generally make a digital audio record of my sessions. It helps me make better records, and I don't have to take notes during the session. That way, I give my clients my full attention. But if you'd prefer, I don't have to record anything. I still have a pad and pencil here at my desk. I could always...
Well, no. I want this recorded. I want everybody to know. This is important. People forgot, and somebody has to remind them.
All right, no problem. Let me switch on the digital recorder, and after you hear the beep, everything will be recorded. Maybe start with your name and tell me a little bit about your problem.
Yeah, okay. My name is, just call me Bao. That's what everybody calls me. My name is Persian, and everybody screws it up, so they just call me Bao. My problem, it started 2 weeks ago, but it's all happened, and that is to say, my friends, it's just hard to, it's hard to explain. See, I don't think you're going to believe me anyway, and God knows a month ago I wouldn't have.
Slow down, Bal. Just take a couple of deep breaths and start from the beginning. You say everything started 2 weeks ago? What happened with you and your friends?
Yeah, okay, so 2 weeks ago. You see, I was out celebrating with these friends of mine, but more than friends. They were my business partners, too, and it's Casper and Mao. We knew each other in college, and we all studied business and just different specialties, you know. we were friends right from the start because we kind of grew up the same way, I guess what you'd call well-to-do families, great schools, right friends, right connections, that sort of thing. So we hung together, and you know how it is. We drank, we partied, and we talked about making money, because that's what guys like us do. And we always talked about money, all the great things we could buy with it. And I guess maybe we should have talked about other things, too.
Well, all that sounds very normal. Young people, especially those away from home for the first time, tend to be a little bit self-obsessed. People generally grow out of it.
Well, yeah, but see, that's the thing, really. That was over 10 years ago, and we just stayed the same. After we finished school, we worked in the corporate world for a while, but we stayed in touch, and we would get together all the time. And we realized that we were smart. I mean, really smart. And we were very good at what we did. So we decided to start our own business, the Wiseman Group.
And your business, was it successful?
Yeah, very much so. But you see, what we would do is look for angles. We didn't make anything or provide any service. We just looked for the holes in human nature. And looking back, I guess that's what killed my friends, really. That and, the spirit of Christmas.
I'm sorry, your friends died? I'm sorry, but I don't understand what that has to do with Christmas.
No. Yeah, see, that's what people think. They all think it's about Christmas, but it's not. It's not Christmas. It's before Christmas. It's always before Christmas. I did the research. Well, that's what I do. I'm a researcher, and it's like the song, like the 12 Days of Christmas. He comes before Christmas. Christmas is a good time.
I'm sorry. I'm trying to understand who comes before Christmas.
Sorry, I'll tell you about the celebration, the thing we did. It's just so stupid.
It's okay. Take your time. It's going to be all right.
Yeah, sure. So Casper, Mal, and I, we were all celebrating together, It was a few weeks before Christmas, and we had just hit it big, see. For a couple of months, we had been working on this deal, a big deal. It was going to make us rich. And I guess, technically you could only say richer. We found this stock that was doing really poorly, but that looked good on paper. We bought an option on the company, then got a little creative with the paperwork, and, we turned it over to a broker who sold the idea that the stock was going to go to the stars. You understand? It wasn't, of course. The company was going to fold. I wouldn't get into the details. That's not important. But let's just say that a couple of small companies lost their pensions, and some people might have lost their homes.
So that's your problem, then? You're feeling guilty about what you and your friends did? No. Hey, maybe if I did, maybe then there'd be some hope for me. But if you don't feel guilty about what you did, then you still haven't explained why you're so troubled.
Okay, that's just the background, okay? The real story is this. We were celebrating at this place called Coach's. It's a little place downtown. They got a great sandwiches there and lots of top shelf booze. We had made the score on this deal, and we were talking about what we were going to do with all the money. Now Casper, he had his eye on this gold watch that was some one of a kind. I don't know, limited edition thing. Yeah. Casper, he liked to show off. And Mao, he was going to buy a big bottle of this fancy $1,000 an ounce perfume. See, he'd been working and trying to talk this girl into, well, I guess he thought this would seal the deal with her, and me, I was going to relax on this little island in the Caribbean for a couple of months. Yeah, we were so proud of ourselves. What is it they say about pride coming before the fall? Man, did we ever fall.
Everything is going to be all right. Take your time and go on with your story. You're doing fine.
So, we're all liquored up and really happy with ourselves. And so the bill comes in and Casper says he's got it. So, you see, one of the cherries on the top of this deal was that we each got an $8,000 kickback from the broker we used. Cash money. Anyway, our heads were full of liquor and our pockets were full of cash. So Casper peels off a couple of hundreds and gives them to the girl waiting on us. She's young and pretty, so when she brings the change, Casper gives her a $50 tip and, his business card. Oh, he scrapes up the rest of the change, which is like $4 bills and something, and 2 bright, shiny pennies.
Why do you say it like that? Why do you put so much emphasis on the pennies?
Because you see, Doc, 2 cents. 2 cents. That's what my life is worth and why I'm probably going to hell. I mean, I know I'm going to die. My friends all did, and I have to figure with the life I've led, I'm headed straight down.
Look, it's perfectly normal for successful people, regardless of how they became successful, to feel guilty about having more than others. That guilt can inspire people to change their lives or do great charitable works. Perhaps you just need a way to...
No, look, my life has changed, but I'm afraid it's too late for any great charitable works. But I haven't finished my story. So we leave the bar, and it's cold outside. Even through the liquor, we're feeling the cold, and it's only about 6 p.m. at the time, so... Yeah, this time of year when the sun sets properly, the temperature can drop like 20 degrees easy, so... We are walking together to the parking area when we see this little homeless guy just sitting there in a little alley between a couple of buildings. He's a funny-looking guy, raggedy clothes, worn-out shoes, an old-fashioned hat that looks like something out of an old movie. But the really weird thing about him is his face is black. I don't mean he's black like African-American or anything. I mean he's like a white guy, but his face is covered in soot or something. His hands and arms, too. And like he'd been working around fire or something because he kind of smells like smoke. And anyway, we're passing this guy and he says...
Merry Christmas, gentlemen. In the spirit of the season, could you spare a little something for a fellow soul who's down on his luck? 'Tis the season of plenty, and an act of charity lightens the pocket but little while filling the spirit to the brim. Please, good sirs, save a soul. While much is needed, any little bit helps when given in kindness.
See, I remember it word for word, and I don't know why. I mean, my memory is good, real good, and it has to be for my work, but to remember something like that verbatim, I don't get it.
What a strange thing to say. It almost sounds like some kind of old prayer.
Or a curse. But they're really the same thing, aren't they? I mean, when you pray, you're asking God or the universe or whatever to make something good happen, right? And a curse, well, that's just asking for something bad to happen, isn't it? I mean, people believe in the power of prayer, don't they? You hear about it all the time. Somebody is being thankful for their prayers coming true, some miracle that happens because somebody prayed for it. So if prayers are real, then curses must be real too. It makes sense. And it's like some people talk about karma, you know. You put good out in the world, and good comes back to you, and you do bad things, and, you know, in the end...
I think we've gotten a little off track. I personally don't believe in prayers or curses, and I question karma too. Please, continue with your story.
My story, yeah, right. So Casper and Mao and I, we stopped, and we're standing around this guy looking down on him, and he's just sitting there on the cold ground, and I can tell we're all thinking the exact same thing, you know. What is this? What's with this low life here? And that's when Casper says,
Merry Christmas to you, old timer. Why are you out here bothering the good people of the world? And what do you expect for us to do for you?
Oh, good sir, any act of kindness would be appreciated. A little food to nourish the body, a bit of money to help find a warm place to rest. Even just a kind word given in the spirit of Christmas would suit my simple needs.
And again, word for word, I remember it. And, well, Mao, he says,
Sorry, old man, no room at the inn. I guess you'll have to find a stable somewhere. Besides, we drank all our Christmas spirit.
Now understand, Mao had a few more drinks than Casper and I, which meant he still had like half his prime rib sandwich in a plastic bag hanging from his wrists. You know, he could have given the sandwich to the old guy. Fact is, he would probably just throw it away after a couple days anyway. Mao, he never liked leftovers. But the reality was, we could have done a lot for the old guy. I mean, $100 would have kept him warm and fed for probably, 3 or 4 days. I mean, even if he took that money and he bought booze with it, maybe he'd be happy for a little while. But, we weren't interested in anything but ourselves. Kings of the hill, following a shining star to the place of wealth and privilege. So then the dirty old guy, he looks at us and he says,
Surely 3 such fine gentlemen will give something. For this is the season of reflection and reminders of redemption and righteousness toward all. Earthly treasures are but small, but a person's good deeds will better the world for us all. Think of your gift as an opportunity, an investment in your life and happiness. Given in the spirit of the season, surely you must place value on life and happiness.
And right there it was. The trap was set. He laid it out for us. But, we wise men, we were too smart to see it. A contract. An offer is made, an offer is accepted, and something is exchanged. As old as mankind itself. But in our ignorance, Casper, he says,
For a dirty old beggar, you're quite a salesman. Maybe you should come work for us. Hey, how about it, guys? Couple dozen showers and a new suit? Maybe we even make him a partner. I tell you what, here's an advance on your salary.
So Casper pulled those 2 shiny pennies out of his pocket and he dropped them in front of the old man. It didn't register at the time, but I remember how, somehow the sound it made when they hit the pavement, it was too loud. The coins tinkled a little too long, but at that time, we were all just laughing and walking away.
Well, I would have to agree that your treatment of the old man was not very kind. But do you really believe that he cursed you?
At the time, no, I wouldn't have believed it. But then came the 12 days of Christmas. See, like I said, I do my research, and I found out about the 12 days of Christmas and him. But I'm getting ahead of myself. What you need to know, you need to know what happened to Casper and Mao, and what's gonna happen to me.
Yes, you said your friends died? Tell me what happened.
Why, he came for Casper first. I guess that's because he's the one that dropped the coins and made fun of him. It was the first day of the 12 days of Christmas, and we were working on our office suite uptown, working on our next big deal, and I was staring at my computer screen when Casper rushed into my office.
Ow. Hey, do you smell that? It smells like the building's on fire, but the alarms aren't going off.
I looked at him puzzled and then stood up and sniffed the air. Nothing. I shook my head and told him I don't smell anything.
Are you kidding? It smells like someone's barbecuing in the lobby.
Sorry, man. If anything, I smell the fettuccine you had for lunch. You might want to grab a mint before you go back to work. That's a lot of garlic. What's the black stuff all over your hands?
What? Hey, I didn't notice that before. It's like soot. It must have come off the doorknob of my office. I was working with my door closed when I thought I saw a shadow at the corner of my eye. I looked up and there was no one there. I started to smell smoke and figured some idiot had set the place on fire. I don't get it. There's no fire. How did I get soot on the knob of my office door? I don't know. I don't smell smoke anymore. Yeah, maybe I'm just working too hard. Mal has meetings downtown all day. Let me know if he checks in, will you? I'm going to go wash up. Anyway, I'll talk to you later.
That was the last time I saw Casper alive. See, I left early that day, maybe about an hour after I talked to Casper. I had an appointment, and his door was closed when I walked by, so I didn't bother saying goodnight or anything. The cleaning lady, she comes in around 9 at night, and she's the one that found him. He was lying on the floor of his office with a letter opener protruding from his right eye. I talked to the detective the next day, and he asked me if Casper had any enemies, because they didn't see it as any kind of accident. He said they had ruled out robbery because they found $600 in his wallet and 2 shiny pennies in his left hand. The detective wanted to know if the pennies held any significance. Well, at the time, I couldn't think of any. You see, at the time, I'd forgotten all about the old man, and but something in the back of my mind, it started to itch.
And you now believe that this old man killed your business partner? That he somehow let himself into your office suite when no one else was there and stabbed him?
No, not like that. Casper was a big guy, around 270 pounds, and he kept himself in good shape since he played football in college. The old man was maybe 90 pounds, skinny and undernourished. No, that man couldn't have taken Casper down, no. But then Casper wasn't taken down by a man.
Surely you don't think that this old homeless man was some sort of ghost, do you?
No. Like I said, I did the research. I know exactly who and what he is. But I didn't figure it out until what happened to Mal.
What did happen to him? Was he stabbed also?
No, he wasn't that lucky. Casper was dead, but, we still had a business to run, and part of that business was going to parties and rubbing shoulders with important people. Important people. That sounds so silly now. Anyway, on the day Casper died, Mal had been out of the office all day in meetings, and, after that, around 5:30, he finished up his last meeting, and he had to drive 4 hours to some little town out in the middle of nowhere. He was meeting with a property developer the next morning and to look at a piece of property we had wanted to flip, but anyway, so by the time the cleaning lady found Casper and the police started their investigation, he was asleep in some little motel with his phone turned off. He didn't even find out about Casper's death until he listened to the messages in the morning, and I left him. He called me right away, but I didn't have any information for him other than what the detective told me and the fact that the detective would get a hold of him about an interview. So Mal took the meeting with the property developer, squared away the details, and he headed back home.
And something happened to him on the way back?
No, he made it home safe and sound. But that's what I was getting at before. See, that night we had to be at one of those parties with the important people. It wasn't a tuxedo event, but it was shirt and tie, so when Mao got home, he took a nap and then started getting ready for the party. He called me to see if there was any new information about Casper while he got ready, and, we talked about the kind of stuff you'd expect.
Hey, man, have you heard anything new from the cops? Can you think of anybody that would have such a dislike for Casper that they'd stab him in the eye? I mean, we play fast and loose with some of our deals, but I can't think anybody who would have the guts to take on Crusher Casper, the ex-linebacker. What time's this party start tonight anyway?
Drinks and hors d'oeuvres start at 6, buffet at 7, and music starts at 8. Who are you bringing?
Oh, Rachel, property manager for the office building. She finally said yes. She gets off late, so she's supposed to meet me here at my place.
I hear the buzzer. That must be her now, huh?
Nah, I ordered food from the deli. I don't trust the buffets at these things. I haven't had anything all day, and I'm starving. Of course, there's nothing at the apartment. Ah, crap.
What's the matter?
Wait a minute. Let me deal with the guy at the door. Is this brisket and potato salad? All right, great. Hey, hold on a minute. I got a tip for you. I got a 10 here by the door. I guess it's a tenner and 2 cents. Wonder where that came from. Thanks, man.
What are you crapping on? Did they screw up your order?
Nah, the deli hasn't let me down yet. No, I walked by the hall mirror on my way back from the door, and I got black stuff all over my white shirt. What the? It's on my hands, too. Where'd that come from?
Hey, Mal, that was one of the things I was going to tell you about Casper. Hey,
man, let me call you back. Maybe they did screw up my order. It smells like something's burning in here.
And that was it. I tried calling him back, and then for 15 or 20 minutes straight, but no answer. When Rachel got there, she rang and rang, but nobody answered. And she went down and got the super, who opened up the door just to check to see if he was okay, and they found him in the kitchen.
And he was dead? How?
According to the police, he died of choking. It seems that somehow a half-pound of beef brisket, 2 thick slices of rye bread, a pickle, and a pint of potato salad all got stuck in his throat at the same time.
But how is that even possible? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, the way the police figure it, 2 or 3 strong men could have held him down while another one stuffed all the food in his mouth. And according to the detective, though, the theory had a few weak points, like there was no sign of a struggle, and the doorman had not let in a small group of weightlifters. Apparently, the coroner found it strange that his jaw wasn't even broken, which, according to him, should happen if somebody stuffs 4 pounds of food in your mouth. Yeah, the authorities were all confused, but then they didn't know what I know.
And what exactly is it you know?
I know about him. I know about Black Peter. And I know about the 12 days of Christmas. See, like I told you, I'm a researcher, and I did some of my best work on this project, man. You see, Black Peter isn't some kind of silly sidekick of Santa Claus who goes around spanking naughty children. He's a Christmas spirit that dwells in our world only 12 days. 12 days before Christmas. When he's not in our world, he toils in hell, bringing suffering to those who have failed to reflect on their wicked ways of life. That, by the way, is why he's covered in soot. It's the char of hellfire. He doesn't bother so much with the naughty. No, he goes after the truly sinful. But he only has 12 days to do it, and there's rules that he has to obey. And one of those rules is that he has to give the sinful soul a chance of redemption. If they fail to heed his warnings on their first meeting, he leaves little reminders. Sometimes it's coins, sometimes it's a bit of music, Sometimes it's just a word or phrase that you keep hearing, like Merry Christmas. But in the end, if the person refuses to see their selfishness or greed or avarice, and well, he comes for them. And the most you'll ever see of him is a shadow out of the corner of your eye. But you will smell him. It seems it's hard to wash away the odor of burning souls. You see, Doctor, we all have our chance to be better people and live our lives in the spirit of Christmas, but...
Val, you've had a dreadful shock and experienced a great deal of loss in a very short period of time. Your world has been turned upside down, but there is a logical explanation for everything you've told me, and in time, we will find it. I promise you, everything is going to be all right.
You know, Doc, you keep saying that. You keep saying everything's going to be all right, but I promise you, everything is not going to be all right. I'm sure now that time has run out.
How can you possibly be so certain? What makes you think you're destined to die before Christmas?
Because, Dr. Parker, my hands feel gritty. And on the windowsill behind you there are two bright, shiny pennies that weren't there when I came in. And for the last few minutes, I've smelled smoke.